afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's Monday, brand new week. This is Just Parlays with this handsome young fellow right here, Chris King. I'm your host, Scott Steehn. I'm the lead handicapper at WHINERS.com. I do thank everybody for stopping by. Chris, one more week until we are available exclusively at the Max Wagers Network YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribe to Max Wagers Network on the YouTube side, what the hell are you doing? Get over there, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, ring my bell. Get notified every time we put up brand new content. Spoiler alert, we put up brand new content a lot. So if you don't want to get blown up all day, you don't have to ring the bell. We appreciate it. We appreciate it if you ring that bell, but you do what you want. Chris,
as long as you subscribe, that's what matters.
Exactly right. And of course, while you're smashing buttons on the subscribe side, smash that like button. Give us that thumb. We like it when our bosses call us up and go, "Man, you guys, you're getting a lot of likes compared to how many views you're getting. That's fantastic. So here's a big raise." No, that didn't happen. But
then they're wondering why you have 307 likes and only 6 people are watching.
It's all about gaming the system, buddy. Super Sly in the house. What's up, Super Sly? Chris, I know yesterday was kind of a day of bad beats. Had a pretty good Saturday, though, right?
Yeah, Friday and Saturday were both good. So can't complain. I mean, Friday we had, if you had taken the 4-teamer that we talked about on the show, that would have paid off. You would have cashed about $22.57 on $100. That was the one where we had the Braves and the Astros and the Diamondbacks and the Red Sox all on the run line.
There you go.
We also had another one that day that cashed out $18.39 on $100, and we had both 2-teamers hit better than 3-1.
All right.
And then Saturday we had another 4-teamer that paid out over 2,300 to 1 or 23-1. So
fantastic. Edmonton Abs over 9.5 plus 400.
Good Lord.
I've been sucked into the over in this series, and I don't believe that I'm going to get enough of a contribution out of Edmonton to make that a profitable play.
Yeah, not a 9.5.
Even if because you figure the Abs max would be 7, maybe. I mean, realistically, obviously they could put up more than that, but realistically, ceiling somewhere around 7. So that makes you got to get 3 out of Edmonton. Frankly, I'd be more worried about getting 3 out of Edmonton than I would 7 out of the Avs, but I don't think either one are likely.
And like Sly said, Evander Kane won't play tonight. He's suspended. Just makes me wonder about the disciplinary system in the NHL where Kane, basically got a 5-minute major for boarding the other day and gets 1 game, but we've seen some guys get suspended for 6 or 7 games for a lot less.
Yeah, I do think the suspension was situationally driven there. I think if that was in the regular season, he gets 3 games minimum.
Yeah, and then you saw retired official Tim Peel get into some hot water on Twitter when he tweeted it was karmic justice that Nazem Kadri was injured. He then deleted the tweet afterwards.
Screenshots are forever, my friend. Screenshots are forever. So, yeah. If that goes up and you've got any kind of followers, it's over. It's over. So I had about we lose a little bit over the weekend. You know what I'm dealing with, Chris? I got doggy diarrhea, and here's the problem. Okay, so he's a little dog. You guys have heard him before, but his output is about a bottle cap right now. There's just many frequent trips. The problem is when you take him outside and everybody sees him squat, and there's literally nothing to pick up. And so then you look like a gigantic asshole if anybody's like looking out their window if they're walking.
So your neighbors are not fans at the moment.
I'm having to be really expressive. Like I got the bag on my hand, and I know it's coming, like almost nothing. But I got the bag on my hand, and then he'll squat, and then I'll look down, and I'll really exaggerate it, throw my arms up in the air, and shake my head like, "What are you doing here?" So it's quite an adventure around the old Steehn DeRosa these days. But hey, enough about that. It's good to be here. It's Monday, ready to get a fresh start on the week. Unknown entity is here. Says, folks, let's prosper. I like that. I like that very much.
As long as we don't have to, do this like Spock,
Yes, live long and prosper. Superfly says doggy constipation. I wish. No, it's the other end. It's the other end of that. And he's very subtle about having to go outside. You know, some dogs will let you know, and they'll. He's kind of like gives you the kind of the head nod. Yeah, exactly. He'd have been great in the Sting. Very subtle. So
he's like the guy on Sesame Street where. What about I watch?
If I miss hey buddy, if I miss that 2 minutes later, I'm cleaning up a bottle cap of poop off of my carpet, man. It looks like my house has been invaded by Hershey's Kisses, melted Hershey's Kisses, because we'll work our ass off, but you never can quite get it up. And of course, I've got tan carpet, which really helps.
Oh yeah.
This is the weekend we figured out we're not getting our security deposit back. So
yeah, that or you got to bust out the old steam cleaner.
We've got a steam cleaner, and it does a pretty good job. It's just not pristine. The steam cleaner's been running constantly for the weekend. So yeah,
I know how that goes.
Absolutely super sly. We're going to do we got some rice in him yesterday, and if it doesn't start heading in the right direction, I think we're going to take him to the vet here tomorrow. So I appreciate all the dog thoughts and prayers.
And Scott Ninja talking about how there was no technical foul call on Draymond Green last night. Sly saying he should have been tossed. Even if that happened, do you think it would have made a difference in the game? I mean, Boston was flat in the second half.
No, and if you look at the stats in that game, it's really weird because they shot exactly the same from 3-point land. They shot the same number of threes, made the exact. I think they shot 40.5%. I can't remember how that broke down. Maybe 13 of 37 is the number that sticks in my head. Yeah, and I know you're diligently looking it up right now as we speak.
Yep.
Boston out rebounded them by 2, if I remember correctly. But yet Golden State in the golden quarter, man, that third quarter, buddy.
Yeah, 35-14 was the margin.
And it is not the first time that's happened this season, or it's not the first time it's happened in the playoffs.
15 of 37.
15 of 37. There you go. So, and it was 40.5%.
That is correct.
Weird how the brain works and remembers things, isn't it? I can remember, but you ask me some basic question like somebody's name, I have no idea.
And the weird thing is Boston shot 15 of 37 from 3 and 15 of 43 from 2.
Yeah, that was the difference. Is the Warriors had much easier shots inside the perimeter than Boston did. So,
and Jaylen Brown, he started hot. He hit 3 of his first 4 or whatever, and then went 2 of 13 the rest of the way.
Yep. Unknown entity. Let's see. He likes Colorado Avs on the money line, Red Sox, Toronto, and the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, it's a pretty boring schedule today, let's be honest. You've got 1 hockey game and 6 baseball games, and you're like, I'm sitting there last night going, well, what the hell am I going to do with this?
Yeah, when you I don't envy you having to come up with 2 2-teamers, a 4-teamer, 10 to take a shot on, and then for your premiums, you do the same thing, right? Basically.
I do a 4 and or 2 4s and a 6, and then 2 2s and 2 4s.
You do 2 2s and 2 4s and a 6 for premium?
Well, I do 2 2s and 2 4s for the regular premium. Then with the other one that they're trying to mess around with, they want. What are
you doing all day? How many parlays all day do you have? Run it down for us all together.
Let's see. Well, on the show, there's 2 2s and a 4 and a 10.
Okay.
And on the regular premiums, there's 2 2s and 2 4s.
Okay, so there's 9 or 8.
And then the other one, it's 2 4s and a 6.
Okay, so that's 11.
Right.
So you've got to come up with and I want everybody to understand what this guy's doing right here. You have to come up with 11 parlays.
Yeah.
On 8 games.
Yeah, 7 games.
7 games. There's no basketball tonight. That's right.
Right.
And the weird thing is, they're usually pretty good. You're up like 300 units, right?
Yeah, for the year.
That's what I'm saying. It's monsters. So, I'm okay with all that. Too many Boston turnovers, and Marcus Smart still an offensive liability. Yeah, that hasn't gotten any better.
And they didn't get Horford involved. I mean, Horford had no shots at the half. I mean, he's coming off a game when he had 20-some points, and then you don't let him shoot the ball.
It's kind of weird how that ebbs and flows. I don't know who's outsmarting who there. If if the Boston game plan is like, well, we relied on Horford last time, we've got to come up with something different because surely they'll adjust. So I don't know who's being the smarter one there. You got any clue? Is it is the defense is adjusting that well to what they want to
No,
do?
I just think Boston, fooled themselves because sure, you took away Horford, but Tatum still shot 19 times, Brown shot 17 times. That's about what they shot in game one.
Right.
So you didn't stop them from shooting the ball. You just took away one of your better options.
Well, and they shot. I want to say they had 81 shots in the first game. I'm not positive, but I know they had 80.
I'll take a quick look. They had 80 yesterday.
Yeah, they had 80 last night. So the problem is
game one they had. Let's see, 85.
Okay, so they shot a few less shots, fewer possessions.
More turnovers.
Yeah, they turned the ball over 18 times. Golden State turned it over 12. And
yeah, they only had 12 in game one.
Turnovers in that first game really contributed to Golden State going in the tank. And I don't know. It's not that they had all that many, but they had them at really bad times. They saved them all for the end.
Yeah, they saved them all for the fourth quarter with Draymond Green throwing balls out of bounds and stepping out of bounds. And
I feel like Justin brings up a great point here, and I've got this game, by the way, and I feel like the books are baiting us to take the Red Sox, so I got to take the Angels. It's not a bad strategy because you've got a team that's lost 11 straight, and their opposition is plus 110, or at least it was when I booked that bet.
Well, you also have to look at it from the perspective of they're looking at the fact that they think Syndergaard is going to bounce back, and that's why the Angels are favored, other than being at home. But I have to look at the fact that we watched Syndergaard get lit up in his last start, where he didn't make it out of the third.
Right. Yeah, I did some deep geek diving on Syndergaard last night because I wanted to formulate an opinion because half of his starts have been good, half have been bad. Basically, and the ones that have been bad have been really bad. So I looked at some stuff, and his barrel rate is 8.3 this season, and I know that it's kind of you throw that number out there, it's kind of in a bubble. So for perspective, his two best seasons were arguably 16 and 18. Why can't I say that word? Barrel rate was 3.5 and 2.5 those two seasons. So his barrel rate is between like 2.5 and 3.5 times higher than it was when he was pitching well. His velocity's down from 98 to 95. There's not as much movement on his off-speed pitches, and his K rate is down from like 29 to about 16. So his peripherals are not good. And after I saw that, did a little digging, I was able to have more confidence in this bet. Hey, there goes Chris. Chris off and running with his Monday internet. Let's see what some of you guys are saying in the comment section. I'll take a minute there. Unknown entity said, I can't wait to see what he was going to come up with, Chris. Yeah, it's always interesting to see when he really has to have a limited number of games. My hat's off to him. It's hard enough for me. I'm not a parlay guy. It's hard enough for me to come up with like a 2-teamer over at college and NFL weekends. So God bless him. God bless him. Rye Cape in the house. What up, Rye? It's our NASCAR pal. Tough week for the home team there. Chris did take Kyle Busch. Just about got him home. With that victory. Had that restart. I think that was the killer. Do you guys have over 1.5 hits in the first innings on your books? I do not. But my options, AJ, is where I live, is very limited. I'd be curious to see some other answers from other people. So, Walsh on IL hurting the Angels. Yes, I totally agree, MZ. That Angels team playing bad baseball and having Walsh out is definitely something that's adding to their woes. There he is. How's that internet going, buddy?
It wasn't the internet. This time it was the laptop gave me a blue screen and then rebooted itself. I swear, every time Windows does an update, it decides that it doesn't want to cooperate.
Scott,
those Windows updates are great for breaking stuff.
Yeah, not good. Scott Nowak in the house. Scott hit a big one yesterday. He had a nice parlay there, three-teamer. So A man after your own heart there, Chris.
Can't go wrong with that.
AJ's giving the Irish goodbye. Chris, I know I've asked you this before. Are you watching The Offer on Paramount?
No, not yet. I was going to.
I cannot say enough good things about it. I cannot.
Now, is it a series or is it just one thing? Because
it is a limited miniseries, so it's just one season.
Okay. It's going to be like 85 hours of.
I think it's 9. I think it's 9 episodes, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Yeah, I have it on my list to check out.
It's absolutely, and I recommend that to everybody out there. And no, I'm not getting anything from a Paramount Plus. But
Mario Puzo's not sending you any money.
It's a terrific story. Very entertaining. There's about 3 different stories going on. All of them are pretty cool about the making of The Godfather and how that all went down. So anyway, Chris, let's get to it, shall we?
Sure. Let's get to the massive list of exciting stuff that's going on in the world of professional sports.
I think, Chris, I've officially talked about my dog's incontinence as long as I possibly can.
Did you do all the fun promos?
I didn't do any promos, Chris. It's Monday. I've totally. I can remember how many 3-pointers they made. I can't remember to do the promos. So yeah, I talked to you guys about liking and subscribing. Do that. Check out not just us, but all the great content on the Max Wagers Network. Of course, it's noon, midday money with Sean Higgs. 1 o'clock brings Morning Wood with Allie Burns. 2 o'clock. Well, you know what that's all about with me and Chris. 3 p.m. I roll down to Studio B and do Back to the Window with Scott Reichel. 4 o'clock, Sean Miller bringing a perspective on footy from around the world. And, of course, 5 o'clock brings Tim and Nick Earl along with Detroit Lenny doing Game Time Decision. And, Chris, it's Monday. Haven't heard differently. So if you haven't taken advantage of the Caesars offer yet, I don't know what you've been doing. Maybe this
I saw it was still in here. That's why I was wondering.
Maybe this is the first time that you've listened. Maybe the first time you've watched this. So, hey, we want you to take advantage of a terrific promotion that the folks at the Caesars Sportsbook is doing. Basically, you can bet up to $1,100 on your first bet with your first deposit, and it is guaranteed. What does that mean? Well, it means if you win your bet. Congratulations. You know how that works. And if you happen to lose, if you happen to be wrong, I know not a lot of people that watch us are wrong very often when it comes to sports betting, but if one of those rarities occur, Caesar says, you know what? We knew you meant to take the other side. We got your back. We'll make it good to you. So up to $1,100, they'll match it. Take advantage of that offer. You have to use the code ATSWINCZR. That's ATSWINSCZR. That is in the description of today's video, along with the link that will take you right to it. So, of course, if you want to get some of Chris's premium parlays, like I mentioned, 300 units for the year. Not too shabby. That link is in the description as well. And if you want a little less, if you want a little higher lows and lower highs, I have my premium picks in there. We usually do 3 or 4 a day. And we work with our clients as far as money managing and things like that goes. So, yeah, check those out. All right, Chris, I think that's it, right?
Yep, sounds about right.
All right. Now,
how about we start, Scott, down in the Lone Star State where the Houston Astros are going to host the Seattle Mariners now.
Ooh, the 45s versus the Pilots. I'm excited.
Yeah, of course, the Mariners had to, screw things up yesterday by rallying to beat Texas by scoring 3 in the 9th and then winning in the 10th inning because Texas's reliever threw a wild pitch.
What they do, Chris. That's exactly what the Mariners do. They do exactly what you don't want them to do.
Yeah, pretty much. They zig when you should have zagged.
Yes.
Kind of like Frogger.
Oh, I remember Frogger. I should get that on my phone. I bet you can get it on your phone now, huh?
Oh, yeah. I mean, my son has it on the Xbox, so, it's interesting to see it, trying to play it when, you have no idea what you're doing.
So, the Astros, I don't know whether they won 5 of 6 or something.
Yeah, they've been on a roll. I mean, the one loss was the one we talked about Saturday where I think you tied Chris Bubich into the text chat.
Yep. I took that as my play of the day, and it did not go well. Bubich went 5 shutout innings, 2 hits, and of course
walk some guys.
Well, that's what he does. But what did he walk 3?
I think so.
If I remember right, it was a 1-0 whip if I were looking at the box score. But The most impressive part was that the Royals bullpen also held their weight, and Houston offense could get nothing going. Royals ended up putting up 6. It was 2-0 when it mattered, and then once it became clear Houston just had decided not to hit that day, the Royals added 4 more because not like they could use those 4 runs in another game. So I think that's the only time the Astros have lost in a week was when I backed them. So you're welcome, everybody. I have been absolutely frigid, Chris. I'm not gonna lie. I can turn great pitchers into shit, and I can turn Chris Bubich into a fucking Cy Young winner.
Remember we talked about that the other day when you talked about how Garrett Cole was going to struggle against the Tigers, and then he went out and mowed him down.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, so you're basically you're the reverse Midas.
Yes.
You turn gold into lead.
Everything I touch turns into a next day winner. So here's the strategy right now with me. Okay, I'm going to lay it out for you. I'm going to make you guys so much money. When I give a pick, fade it. Okay, just fucking fade it. And then the next day, same pick I made the day before, load up. It is guaranteed to cash. So I know Reichel talks about his luck is the day after theory as well. So yeah, this is probably going to hold over for another day. So you can bet the Astros with no fear here whatsoever, because they're probably going to punish me for 2 days straight for backing them on Saturday night. The only problem I have in this is Robbie Ray still has the potential to be very good, but he has just struggled this season. His walks are back up, and Javier has been outstanding this season. Houston, I think that pitching, man, you always think about Houston hitting, but they've really been getting it done with pitching this year.
And the other thing you have to watch out with Ray is he leads the majors by allowing 36 earned runs so far, and he's given up 11 homers.
That is not ideal. That is not ideal at all. Those are all troubling things.
Which I saw one of the things that people were leaning towards was if you like to play chasing the home run prop, Jose Altuve at plus 295 was a relatively solid bet because I think he's hit 4 homers and 39 at bats against left-handed pitching this year.
Do you ever play home run props?
Very rarely.
Well,
because it's so much feast or famine.
The math just doesn't work for me. I mean, if you hit a home run every 3 days, that's 54. So that's not likely.
Right.
If you hit one every 4 days, what do you got?
40, 41.
Yeah, you're 40 and change. So your odds really should be never any lower than 3-1 plus 300. So playing home run props at like plus 220 or plus 180, I've seen for Judge and shit. No,
I did see a guy the other day had one where he had Judge and Stanton, and I think Jock Peterson, and there was 2 other ones that had hit, and it was some ridiculous number because he bet $20 and he won like $84,000.
Okay,
so that's how far out of line it was because, like you said, it's not like total bases where you can get a couple of knocks and go over the number.
Right.
You're praying that you can mash that bushy ball far enough to put it into the seats.
Now, if I've got some kind of extraordinary circumstances, wind blowing out, horrific pitcher that gives up a ton of home runs, like a Robbie Ray or something like that. If I've got Robbie Ray in Yankee Stadium and the wind is blowing out, really either direction, you can get it to you can oppo it. Either one of those guys, Judge or Stanton, can oppo. Judge hits a shit ton of balls to right field. So if you've got a wind blowing to either corner and Robbie Ray on the mound, you know what? You want to give me 200, 250? I might consider that. But
yeah, Ray's giving up a homer in 6 straight starts.
Not ideal. Not ideal, Bob. All right, I don't hate that. Play the run line. The Astros are on the road, right?
No, the Astros are at home.
Oh no, 85 of value. Yeah, they got to be at home.
But if you look, Seattle does not have a good winning percentage in this series. 16-41 in the last 57 meetings going back over the past 3 years. And they've lost 40 of the last 56 meetings at Minute Maid Park.
So I'm not going to offer an opinion on this, and I'll tell you why. Because I have not been able to guess Seattle right all season.
Understandable.
So if I come down on the side here, it's inevitably going to be wrong. So I don't want to influence. I just want your bet out there. I want you to lay out your case, and then I'm not going to opine because I don't want to jinx everybody.
Well, like you said, Javier's pitched well. He struck out 9 in each of his last 2 starts. The Mariners aren't really a great power lineup, especially with half their guys like Mitch Haniger's on the shelf. I think there's a couple other names that are out as well.
They got rid of Vogelbach. They got rid of the tank.
Yeah, well, he's in Pittsburgh.
Did he go to Pitt? Yeah, he went somewhere else first, right? Did he go to Milwaukee?
Yeah, he went to Milwaukee.
Okay,
but you're looking at a Seattle team. They're not all that great. They hit 243 against righties. They hit 218 against lefties, but they score more runs against left-handed pitching than they do against righties. You figure it out.
That's pretty.
I just don't trust. I know Houston has had their issues with left-handed pitching, but Ray has been bad enough where he's either putting guys on or, getting tagged for homers that the Mariners can't keep him in the game.
Does it bother you their whip is almost identical?
A little bit, but I mean, Javier had a rough start to the year. He's been better since. Okay. And Ray, you look at his last few starts, whip in his last 4 starts. Let's see, he had a whip of 133 on May 15th against the Mets. Then he had 117 against Boston. Then he had 133 again against Oakland, and then in his last start, it was 1.8. And that was against Baltimore.
Yeah, that was a rough game last time out. 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned.
Yeah, Ray's last 3 starts, he's given up 11 runs on 18 hits with 6 walks and 24 strikeouts in 17 innings. But
4 homers in those 17 innings too. All right.
Yeah, so I mean, you're looking at an ERA of 5.82. That's balls in play average 3.59 in his last 3 starts.
So they're hitting the ball well against him, and they're having a little bit of luck. So
yeah, I mean, he's basically almost half his outs are on strikeouts. So if he's not getting guys out, they're smashing the ball all over the field.
That's not good. That's not good at all. And like you said, he's obviously lost those 3 games straight. All right, what else you got?
All right, well, you should be familiar with this game because it's going to be right down the street from you.
Fade the Royals. Fade the Royals. There you go.
Yeah, the Royals and the Blue Jays. The one bad part for the Blue Jays is, Ryu is back on the IL, so it's going to be Ross Stripling. At least Stripling's made a few starts this year.
There's another one of those ex-Dodger pitchers that they got rid of at exactly the right time.
That's true.
Stripling, Ryu, Rich Hill. You see them scattered around the majors, man. The Dodgers cut bait on their pitching staff at exactly the right time, almost inevitably. So
Darvish.
Well, yeah. I mean, he was a kind of a short-term guy there, but yeah.
Fernando Valenzuela.
Do you hear the drums, Fernando?
Don Newcomb.
Okay.
Sal Bagley.
Royals are Royals are 26th in runs. Wow, I expected worse than that.
Well, they're worse at home, if that helps.
It doesn't.
Oh,
it doesn't help your home record.
Doesn't
help me want to go to the games at all.
What if you got free tickets?
Oh yeah. I'll go to a couple of games this season, but I'm.
Now, are you of the mindset where people are with the Sabres, where they left 2 tickets on the seat of their car and somebody broke in and left 4 more seats?
Yeah, I think we're approaching that spot with Royals tickets. I think there's going to be some terrific bargains at Kauffman Stadium after the All-Star break, because I imagine they're going to like get rid of Benintendi. I don't know who else anybody would want. I'm trying to think.
Well, from what I've heard, and it's an interesting thing that you brought that up. A team that would be looking for players that Kansas City has are their opponents.
Oh,
the Blue Jays would love to have Benintendi. They'd like to get their hands on a guy like Barlow to come out of the bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, the potential for a trade is there, and I mean, Toronto's got a pretty deep farm system. Because I don't know if the Royals are at the point where they're like, we want major league talent, or if we want, if we're trying to get more prospects and stuff for the future.
Well, going into this season, they thought they were a year away from contending. So
They didn't say what year that was, though.
No. So I mean, this has been a massive setback. I mean, this isn't. I would say it's an unexpectedly bad season. We knew we probably wouldn't. I thought they'd be fighting for 500, but I didn't think they'd be the worst team in baseball.
Well, the big issue is, like you said too before when you talked about it, is the pitching, because the pitching has not been all that great. You've had Hernandez has bounced up and down. Bubic has bounced up and down. Singer was down for a bit.
Right.
Ricky still has as many wins as Reichel.
Correct. And has probably pitched the best.
Do you think he's pitched better than Lynch or Keller? Because Keller pitched pretty well for a guy who's 1-6.
Keller's turned into kind of a grinder, just a guy that's going to go 6 innings, probably give up 4 runs. He's probably going to give your bullpen a little bit of a rest, but I mean, none of those guys, and Greinke, I know early in the season he was striking out nobody. His swing and miss rate was nothing. He's been a little better lately, but he's lost so much velo off his fastball that, he's just a shadow of himself. He's one of these guys that knows enough about pitching and is crafty enough that he can, get by, but in a legitimate rotation, Greinke's a low 4 or a 5 right now.
Now, is there any timetable on when he's going to be back?
I don't think they're going to rush it. I don't think he's going to rush it either. I mean, I'm looking maybe a little before the All-Star break.
Okay, so that long.
Yeah, that's my guess. Just trying to read the tea leaves with the Royals. You listen to the Royals, it's like, it's any day. But watching the Royals in the past and how they deal with injuries and the kind of what they've said, I'm going to think it's longer than that.
Yeah, I'm just looking at their staff here, and Greinke's on the IL. Hernandez is down in the minors, and then you've got Bolanos is down in the minors. They sent him down. Spire and Garrett and Prince and Peacock are all on the IL.
That's a killer. Amir Garrett had actually been pretty good. He was kind of one of the 2 bright spots in that bullpen, along with Barlow.
Well, and Spire has pitched pretty well too. I mean, he's only got a 2.5 ERA in 15 outings.
Yeah, and he was another guy that was better early. But yeah, this is so. The point you're making is what limited talent the Royals had at one point. A lot of it's not available right now.
Yeah, because I'm looking at, like you said, Keller's ERA is 4.15. Lynch is at 4.81. Sadly, Keller's ERA is the best of any starter.
Yeah.
Because Greinke's at 5.05. Hernandez was at 9.10 before they sent him down. And he had walked more guys. Holy crap, his whip was 2.157.
Yeah, not ideal.
That's a good reason to go down.
You got to go. You got to go.
And then the bullpen, like you said, you got Snyder with his ERA of 7.2, but he leads the team in wins.
Well, yeah, that bullpen, there's nothing more worthless than bullpen wins.
Yeah, Vulture wins. Hey, look, I blew the save.
Well, I'll tell you how bad it is around here. My kids are taking me out to a game for Father's Day.
Right.
We're going to have a little brunch and go to a game. And it's going to be the Kansas City Monarchs, the unaffiliated independent team that we're going to go see instead of the Royals.
Probably a better game.
Probably is. And I like to go out there. I like going to minor league games. So it's a lot of fun, and it's way more reasonable for.
Oh yeah, I mean prices are for tickets and parking and all that crap.
Parking's free, and
that's a hell of a lot better than going to Kauffman Stadium, I'm sure.
And we're going to go fancy and get a picnic table, and that's $15 a person. So
going all out.
Get in the door price. I think is $5. You can sit on the berm for $5. So anyway.
Yeah, that's like we've got the Red Sox A-League team here, and they did the left field wall like the Green Monster out at Floor Field and everything. So
that's cool. Yeah, we've got Springfield's drivable, Omaha's drivable, obviously, Des Moines, Tulsa, and Northwest Arkansas are all.
How far is Tulsa from you? What is it, like 4 hours, 5 hours?
3-ish, 3:15.
Okay, so it's closer than I thought.
Yeah, it's not too far from. You just go down to Joplin. It's just west on Joplin down 44.
Good old Joplin.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I got in closing, Your Honor, I have nothing good to say about this team. They're a below average team playing horrific baseball right now.
Should have just been like Joe Pesci and my cousin Vinny and go, I got no more use for this guy.
I'm done with this guy. That's correct. And the one caveat is the Royals aren't going to lose every game. Occasionally, about twice a week, they win a game. So could this be the night? Sure. Stripling hasn't been super impressive.
No, he hasn't.
And Lynch has had a couple of good appearances, so it certainly could turn around. I just see nothing to like about this team right now at all.
AJ says he's going to see Omaha play the Rochester Red Wings in July.
Outstanding.
Now, AJ's, if you've been to Rochester, I'm sure that if you have, or if you haven't, that you will go to Nick Tahoe's and get a garbage plate while you're there. Because, you can't go to Rochester without doing that.
I'm assuming he is talking about
Rochester, New York.
In Rochester, he's not going to Omaha.
Now the question is, will Vinny still be in Omaha come July?
Don't even fucking mention that name to me. Don't even fucking talk about that. I can't.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of bitching on Royals Twitter every time they put up a transactions move.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous.
It's like they send down so and so and call up so and so. They're like, you misspelled Vinny.
Yeah, it's become laughable at this point. And we're talking about Vinny Pascantino. Sorry, he's in Omaha right now, and he is hitting 284, OPS of 1,003, 15 home runs, 53 RBIs in 51 games. Nope. We got no use for that guy. The worst fucking team in baseball has no use for the guy that leads the minors in home runs and leads the minors in RBIs. Nope, can't use him.
And I mean, he was good last year too. I mean,
yes,
playing an A ball and then double A ball.
Yep, and Prado's right there as well. Prado's ready to come up. He's not hitting great, but he's still got some pop. He's got 10 home runs. So Pasquantino is the guy that we really got to see. So I'm going to go to Omaha for a game this year.
I still like Omaha better when they were the Omaha Royals as opposed to the Omaha Storm Chasers.
I like the Storm Chasers?
No, because I mean when I grew up, Omaha and all those teams would come to Buffalo and go play the Bison. So I remember them as the Royals. I remember the Oklahoma City 89ers.
Sure. Yep.
And the Indianapolis Indians and the I Cubs and all that stuff. So
no, I don't remember that. I remember the Denver Zephyrs.
Yeah, I remember them too.
I went to see the Omaha Royals play the Denver Zephyrs at Mile High Stadium. You talk about a weird configuration. It was fucking bizarre. Look that up on your fancy computer sometime and look at the old configuration for the Denver Zephyrs game.
Yeah,
I remember it was like 440 to center field or some ridiculous shit.
It's like 8 miles to center, and then down to the left field line is probably like 270.
It was definitely not equilateral. So. I got nothing. I got nothing for this team.
All right, so we'll go to the hockey game then. How about that?
Let's do it.
The Avalanche and the Oilers. Guess what? The Oilers are in a 3-0 hole. They might not get another game after today.
I think this is a bargain at -125.
Yeah, I know. I was surprised it was that low.
Every game they've covered the puck line every game, haven't they? Yeah.
Yes.
So I see no reason not to take an almost 2-1 swing at that too.
And you're looking here, and like I said, Evander Kane suspended, while the Avs don't have Kadri. They still have McKinnon, Landeskog, Rantanen, Makar. Insert name here.
Right.
They could pretty much put whoever the hell they want on the ice and still beat up the Oilers.
And the goalie has been pretty good.
Yeah, Francouz has played well.
Pavel Francouz, that's right. Francouz has given up 2 goals in 2 games in 2 starts, right?
Yeah, because he shut him out in game 2.
Yeah. So
the total on this one started at 7. It's been bet down to 6.5. A lot of books.
Okay.
So I mean,
after seeing how well the Avs defense has played, I have a lot less confidence in the under than in the over than I did when I went into this series.
I like it better at 6.5. I mean, you're paying a little bit of juice for it, but
Yeah.
But you're looking here in Edmonton, 0-4 in their last 4 when their opponent gives up 2 or less. 0-4 after scoring 2 or less. Colorado's won 6 of the last 7 meetings here, and in this series, the favorite has won each of the last 9 games.
Very nice. Avs 6-1 in their last 7. This is another, not quite the Royals, but Oilers are done, and they basically have 2.5 players that are doing anything right now, and now they're down to 2. So it's not a great look for the Oilers tonight.
And the problem with Edmonton was, I think nobody expected them to get necessarily past the Kings because that went 7 games, and nobody expected them to get past the Flames. So they're playing with house money. It just so happens that they're burning through it at a pretty high rate.
Right. You know what else nobody ever expects?
Tacos.
The Spanish Inquisition.
This is true.
Okay. Avalanche puck line for me. I'm all over it. I think
with the big money return, you can get on that. Why not?
You're not going to play 2-1 games with Mike Smith, and that's the only kind of game I think Edmonton can win right now, and that's not going to happen as long as you have Smith between the pipes.
Yeah, I agree because Smith had a couple good games against the Kings, but shutting down the Kings and shutting down the Avalanche are two vastly different.
A little bit different.
Just a wee bit.
All right, sir. Let's make some money. I know we've talked about half the games already, so
I know, isn't it great? There's the Blue Jays and the Astros. I put them up there as a 2-teamer because, like we said, Toronto has been playing pretty well. I know they struggled a bit against the Twins. Gausman struggled yesterday, which was weird. And I'm going to take the Mets on the road against San Diego. The Mets played fairly well against the Dodgers this weekend, which comes on the heels, of course, of the Dodgers getting swept by Pittsburgh. And Blake Snell's pitching for the Padres. Not really crazy about him.
He's pitched better.
Yeah, but I don't think he has any wins yet either. And, San Diego's coming off that sweep of Milwaukee. Snell's 0-2, 4.80 ERA, 15 innings. He's walked 8 in 15 innings. He's given up 8 hits and 8 walks.
Not good.
And then we've got, like we said, Colorado, and the number shifted. I just forgot to change on my original slide, but you're still getting plus 175 on the puck line. Yeah,
and with only 8 games, with only 7 games, there's a good chance that because we're limited that I'm probably going to disagree with one of them, and I'm not sure I disagree with the Mets. I just San Diego, it's a good baseball team right there. I'm not sure I'm quite as down on Snell, but if you wanted to play the first set, the Blue Jays and the Astros, it's the fuck you, Scott parlay.
Brought to you by Miller Lite.
Both of those teams did exactly the opposite of what I thought they were going to do on Saturday night. So, but if you wanted to play that on the strict money lines, paying you a little better than 3-2 at 157, and if you wanted to take the run line, which I would probably recommend, I'd maybe mix it up. I'd maybe take a run line on the Blue Jays and just play the Astros money line. But if you wanted to play the run line on both, that'd pay 3.2 to 1 or 320 on $100. Your second one there with the Mets and the Avs. Pretty standard parlay price there, 262 on 100, and quite a nice little bump there if you wanted to play the puck line and the run line. That would return you a cool 6.4 or 642.50 on $100.
And back to the screw you promo or parlay, as Roddy Piper once said, just when you think you have all the answers,
change the questions.
I change the questions.
Changing the questions, baby.
And some guy named Jim Williams, whoever that guy is,
what up, Jimmy?
Said 4-inning Snell.
Yes, there's as his wife can confirm, Blake Snell not a lot of length. So
yeah, if you could you could also chase the under 6.5 strikeouts prop with him as well.
Yes, that's very good, especially when you're limited on the innings. That's a great point, by the way, Jim. And I forgot to bring that up. Is regardless of if he's had a decent outing or two, he doesn't go long at all. So, hey, you got a 4-teamer?
Matter of fact, we do.
Just put those 4 together, and you're good. And you call it good.
I'm going to go with the Diamondbacks over the Reds. That game coming to you from the Great American Ballpark. It's Madison Bumgarner against everybody's favorite Cincinnati pitcher to fade, Hunter Green.
I was watching that Reds game yesterday, and it was the Reds broadcast, and they had the next 4 pitchers up. I'm like, oh my god, that's just awful. Says the Royals fan.
Yeah,
But I think 3 of them had ERAs over 6. I'm like, oh Jesus.
And Gutierrez is on the shelf, so
Castillo looked okay at times, but still ended up giving up runs. So
yes. But did you see how that game ended? The idiot gets picked off, leaning off first base. How do you get picked off when you got a guy in front of you?
After reviewing it, where he made sure he was safe, beating out the double play, which he was, he then gets picked off of first base to end the game as the run that would have won my bet for me stands at second base.
Well, on the plus side, it's got Graham Ashcraft is pitching tomorrow, so there is that.
Yes, that was the one they were excited about.
But I mean, you're looking, Molly 5.43 ERA, Hunter Green 6.19. Gutierrez got his ERA down to 7.61 before going on the shelf.
Okay, so they had 2 over 6 and a 5.61. Sorry for exaggerating.
Oh no, Castillo's at 3.55. Their best starter, Connor Overton, who's 1-0 with a 1.82 ERA and 4 starts. Guess what? He's on the 60-day IL.
We faded him in his first start. He beat our ass. So
yeah. Well, now he's on the 60 days. So
the Overton window snapped on my fingers. So okay. So you got the Diamondbacks there with Bumgarner. I like that play as well. I think that's solid play, getting plus money.
Yeah, the Guardians over the Rangers. It's Cal Quantrill against John Gray.
Yeah, I like Quantrill. Quantrill's been pitching well lately.
Yeah, and Gray, he was okay the other day, but I still don't think he's very good.
He unfortunately named Zach Hyman over 3.5 shots.
Well, I mean, they could say that his nickname is Buster, but
Nice.
But Hyman's he's had at least 4 shots. I think it's 8 of his last 10 playoff games. The other 2, he had 3.
Okay.
And with the Oilers basically at the point where they've got to throw everything but the kitchen sink at Francouz to try and stay in this series, I think he's going to be shooting the puck a lot.
Have you heard any reports? Is there any chance that Francouz doesn't start here?
Let me check real quick here.
Kemper's healthy again.
I hadn't heard anything yet. Let me see. Daily Faceoff says it's still on. Let me see. Kemper. Let's see. He was still marked as not being ready to go as of yesterday.
Okay.
So he might not be back. They might save him for the finals.
I know I'm sure they'd love to. You know what it is? It's an eye thing, and he's got double vision in his eye. So it's something that that really is day to day, because you don't know what day you're going to wake up when your vision's going to be clear.
Yeah, and it's not like the Aqua Teen Hunger Force where they had the Foreigner belt where whoever holds this belt will have all the powers of 70 Supergroup. Foreigner.
No, it's not like that at all, Chris. So, Chris, I noticed you're taking the same game in the same parlay. How does that work?
Well, because I'm taking the total here. But yeah, to Scott's point, I had somebody complain last week because I used the Marlins twice in 2 different parlays. I used the Marlins in a 2-teamer and a 4-teamer where Sandy Alcantara pitched against the Braves.
Well, you can see why they complain, Chris. You put 2 losing picks and it's from the same. Oh, wait, what now?
That was the one where Alcantara struck out 14 in 8 innings.
Wait, they both hit?
Yeah, that was the thing. They complained, and Alcantara won 4-1 because he struck out 14 in 8 innings.
That's the funniest part of the story. That's if you're unhappy because you've got the same team in there and it wins twice, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, what was that meme you were talking about last week when we talked about this?
What was it? What did I say?
There's everybody's over here, and then they've got a spot over here, and this is where you go to fuck off.
Oh yeah. Yeah. See, this part way right over there. See that spot? Yeah, that's where you can go to fuck off. Exactly right.
But yeah, you look at the Reds are giving up totals are double digits at home. The Diamondbacks are averaging double digit runs combined for their total on the road. 9.5 seems low.
I had the over there yesterday. I still am just amazed I didn't
Salty.
hit it. And just 5 in the first inning, and we don't get to 10. So I think I think the bullpen shot their wad yesterday. You want to play those 13-1. You know, we want to play them quote unquote straight. You want to juice it. You want to gamble. You got a little 7 come 11 in your soul. How about 23.57 to 1, 23.57 on a hundo if you want to play the run line and the puck line.
And that this 4-teamer, obviously, because these two teams did not play on Friday night, but the 4-teamer that we put up on the show paid out right around that same number.
They all covered the run line, right?
Yep, that was the Red Sox, the Braves, the Astros, and somebody.
Astros. All right, very solid. And if I wanted to take a shot in the dark, what would I do?
Ooh. I'm actually going to. Normally we talk about Nerfies, Scott. How about a Yurfie?
I'm down for a Yurfie.
The Red Sox and the Angels. Boston averaging 0.78 runs per game in the first inning on the road. The Angels averaging 0.75 runs in the first inning at home. It's Waka Waka and Syndergaard on the mound. We've talked about how Syndergaard's had his ups and downs. I think we're going to see at least one on the board after the opening inning there.
Okay.
LJ, as far as this game, I actually like Boston. The Angels have to prove to me that they can remember how to win. Mike Trout hasn't had a hit in about a week. He's 0 for 25 or 27.
Not good, Bob.
I'm going to think the Rangers and Guardians stay under 9. Texas does not impress me offensively. Quantrill's pitched well. And Cleveland doesn't need to score a bunch of runs to beat John Gray. And even if they do put up 5 or 6, can you count on the Rangers to get more than 3? No.
Nope.
Same token, I'm going to take the Blue Jays and Royals under 9.5 because Scott said it. The Royals don't score runs.
Nope. The problem there is Blue Jays could put up 7 or 8.
But, the Royals could contribute and put up nothing.
That's always an option. You want to be extra fancy, play Blue Jays team total over, full game under.
That's true, too. Looking at Christian Javier over 5.5 strikeouts. If you look, he struck out 22 in his last 3 starts over 15 and 2/3 innings, while walking 6. 4 of those came in his last start against the A's in a 3-1 win. But, Javier's pitched well, and Seattle likes to strike out because they're missing half their guys. Any lineup that has Eugenio Suarez in the middle of it is prone to be generating wind energy in the Pacific Northwest.
Few whiffs. Got some whiffs.
Plus, it's at plus money. I mean, how can you pass that up? Rafael Devers of the Red Sox, I would go over 1.5 bases. You can hit a double. I don't care.
You got to go.
As long as you get there.
All right. Give me a second. Don't leave me a present. All right. Avalanche over 6.5. There you go.
And I'm going with their team total over 3.5. I know Scott Nowak mentioned that he saw it at plus money. I saw it at minus 105. It might have shifted back.
Yep.
Draisaitl, I looked to go over 3.5 shots because we talked about that with Hyman. Edmonton's going to have to shoot the puck a lot. The Avs to win in regulation, and the Avs the first 2-3.
Okay. Very good.
So since there's no money lines or run lines on any of these, the numbers are the same.
All right, very good. But there's some plus money in there.
There is.
Did it all just even out exactly?
Well, because there's no
right. There's no difference. There's no two options. I got you.
Right.
Dude, give me a second. All right. Good times. All right. 96 grand on $100 each of those. 96 to 1. 9,600. 960 to 1, right? Yes, 960 to 1. You can tell how often I hit those because I have no idea what they say.
It's some number bigger than 1.
960 to 1. That's what it is. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for the show. Chris, any final thoughts?
Hopefully, tomorrow there'll actually be more games to talk about than there were today. So they'll make for a little more entertaining things and some different numbers shifting around.
All right, very good. We'll talk about it then. There'll be a lot more games to talk about, including a little basketball, right?
No, there's no basketball till Wednesday.
Oh, no, extra travel. It's extra travel day for the finals. That's right. So anyway, you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching, of course. We appreciate it. Don't forget to tune in here in just a minute as I'm moving over to Studio B, and we'll be talking about all the action with my pal Scott Reichel. But until then and until tomorrow, good luck on all your plays today. Come back and see us here as we do this show every single day, Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central. Chris and I talk about a lot of stuff. We talk about canine incontinence, but we try to concentrate most of our talk on
Just Parlays.
There you go. You guys take care. We'll see you tomorrow. But not surprising, I got to roll. I'll see you.
No problem. Take care.